In Google Earth, I have found my menu of symbols and attributes for what I have on the screen. What you see here, of course, is the stream bed itself, the contour lines, aerial image on Google Earth behind it, and labels for the stream beds themselves. And then here's a gabion dam, and then there's check dams up here. The difference between the gabion and the check dam is basically size and materials. Gabion dam being much larger and much more permanent, you might say, for the long term. The first thing we want to do is label the stream bed in this case. So here you can see T6, which I am using the word tributary to the main watershed. And down here you can see this main line here. This is actually the stream bed 1. This is number 1 that all the tributaries come into. And then I named there's like T3, T4, and then the check dam is subwatershed 4, tributary 4. And that's about as, I don't want to get too much going on in there with those labels. It gets to be a little much, but at least we know the tributary it is and then where it is in that stream bed area. So the main one then splits, and many times you'll have the main channel goes all the way up, and there's a lot of them coming into it, all the way up to the water headwaters, you might say. But in this case, we have two main big systems coming in. So I divided that up. And then these will be 6.1 and 6.2 up there. You need to be very consistent with how we name things, because we have a pattern, we have a standard, a style, and it can get very confusing very quickly, even the way things kind of move around in the labels. And sometimes we end up going back and cleaning things up so we have consistency. So if I already have a label here, which I have T6, I can click on that, and T6 lights up. That's great. And you know what? I don't need to make a new label from scratch. I can click on that, make it blue, copy and paste, and it makes me another one. If I have that highlighted and then hit Command or Control I, it turns it on for editing. And you get this window here. And what I want to do is pull this up to this tributary, knowing that I'm going to edit it, and this is going to be 6.1. And it goes right in like that. I want to keep it, kind of keep it out of the way, of course. Get it somewhere you can see it, but it's not going to be in the way of our work. And this is 6.1, and that's all I'm going to put on that. There is the latitude and longitude. We can change the icon. A lot of things you can do with this page here for the attributes, labels, all those kinds of things. Color, this is a white label. The icon is white also. Pretty small. 0.6 scale on that. So now that one's done, and I'm just going to click OK on the box here, and then it shuts off and goes in the list. There's 6.1. So if I want to make another one for 6.2, just copy and paste it, highlight it, Command or Control I, and edit it for 2. Very good. And I'm going to just drop that out of the window. And then we can drag that. You have to grab the icon, by the way. You can't grab the text. And so if you don't have an icon, it's very difficult to click on it. The icon, as small as it might need to be, just makes it that much easier. So that's going to be T6.2. Everything else is the same. And I just click OK. Now all the dams after that point within this are going to be S4 and then T6.1 and check dam, and then the latitude. Again, it can be kind of long, but of course we want to make sure we're in the right spot as we keep track of these on the spreadsheet. So that's how we make a label. Now if it was a dam, I can click on this dam and you see that it automatically in the menu goes to that dam. So if I want to see where I'm at, it'll just take me right to that icon because I clicked on it. And if I want to use that one up here, and I'll move the map across. So I want to start on 6.1, putting in some dams in here. And you can kind of see where there's like little spots. It widens out, but where it narrows up again, some of these areas, very narrow here, just before it gets into the confluence. Maybe we want to have a nice dam in there to catch this water. You can see the sides, probably fairly steep. The size of the dam we don't know yet. This is just for placement and then for inspection. So I can highlight that one. That's 6.57. And by the way, it's just the last 4 digits of the latitude. I might have mentioned that before. And if it's a 6 and not a 16, then you use the little apostrophe in there too. So again, I'm going to copy and paste that, and it goes right below the other one. Highlight it, and then do I, Command or Control I, and I'm going to move this dam now. Let's see, I kind of like it there. It's going to be over my logos or my label there. So I'm going to move it up to here for now. So I'm thinking up in here might be a good place for that. Now when I have that icon flashing, I have to use the arrow keys because I can't use my cursor anymore to move it. But look at all of these other places. There's like a nice spot up here, a spot there. It's just coming down into the ravine area. You can see when it gets dense in here, there might be some very steep areas too. So I'm going to bring this one like right in here. Now, when I look at the menu that's opened here now, this latitude is changed to 7.18. So I'll change this one also then. 7.18. Now it's labeled. Oh, no, I got to add T6.1. And so in the spreadsheet, we'll know exactly where that is. Tributary 6.1, that's the one to the left up there somewhere. And then we also have the location on it, where that is too. So now I click OK, and now we have that dam in place. And it's right next to the other ones that we use. So we try to keep these in order, but you can imagine we're on a 2-dimensional, sometimes 3-dimensional scale here. Where they are in the list is just basically by their numbers, and hopefully they're close to each other that way. Now I kind of wanted to move this one. So I highlight it by clicking on the icon. That makes it gray. Click on it up here and make it blue. Command or Control I. And I just want to move that out of the way. And I think down here is probably a good spot for that. Oh, no, I wanted to put a dam there. So you're right. You're right. You were telling me. So I'm just going to put it over here. That's close enough so we'll know where that is. And just click OK. And now that's set in there. Because I thought this might be a good place in here before it gets to the confluence. And we already have a dam over here to the right. Let's add another check dam over in here. Oh, look at that one. It says gabion. Don't think I want to have that as a gabion dam. So I'm going to highlight that by clicking on it. Command or Control I. And I'm going to change that to check. And return. There we go. Simple as that. Now since I have that one highlighted, and it's in the same stream bed, all I have to do is change the latitude, and I want to put another check dam over here. So Control Paste. It's already selected. Command I. Drag this over here. I think there'd be a good spot. You can see like it really gets deep in here, but let's put it right about here, and then the survey people can go out and look at that a little closer. See how that looks. Latitude is 6.86. Same, everything else is the same, and I'll click OK. There we go. Look at that, my label got close again. Sometimes they go off to the right, sometimes they go off to the left. I'm not quite sure how that is or how to change that. So we just move the rest of the way up here looking for other opportunities. Now you can see where this really flattens out. This might just be a channel or a little gully. And it might take some little check dams, but most of the time it's going to do, if you do any damming in these little gullies, they're just going to overflow in the field and spread out, which is not a bad thing relative to the farmer and what people are doing. But if you have these other areas here where you can see obviously people aren't farming, that would be better to stop it before it gets into the field, off to the side somewhere. And then in any of these other ravines, instead of right in the field itself. This, of course, it's just dependent upon what you find there and how it's working. So I'm going to highlight this one. That's my 6.1. Copy and paste that. The info box, attributes. And now I have my logo, or excuse me, the icon, And I'm going to drag it right up into here because I think this would be a good spot. See where this narrows up? Right around in here somewhere. And then change that to 11.76. And we're good. See, now that one's in the center. Anyway, so there might be some others in here that we can play with, but it's maybe a one in here. After it's out of the field, there's some other things going on in here. It's really kind of hard to tell from our resolution with this. And then, of course, you can kind of look as you keep going north on this. This might go up and come out of this area. There might be other stream beds or gullies or drainages up in here. But that would take further inspection for that. Otherwise, they're like right in the middle of their farming, grazing, whatever they might be doing in that area. So making a new label is pretty much the same way. Now that you've copied this, you can go anywhere you want in here. And when you paste it, though, it'll show up over where you had it before, and then you can drag it into this one. So this is our T62, right? And look at all this lots of great areas in here because it's so narrow. You can see how deep that is. And some pretty good spots to put a check dam across here, and you know that this elevation anyway will fill up water. This will back up in here. There's another place down here. So we're just using it by the contours. There's another one in here. So there's like 3 areas to do check dams just because we can tell that it's very narrow, and there might be some other opportunities in between, and that'll be for the local people to decide. So I'm going to click on this one here, copy and paste that, make sure that I have it highlighted, do the I key, and then drag it over to where I would like to have a check dam. And remember, we have one down here. There's another very good spot right there too. Anywhere along these areas before it gets to this where you can stop the water and hold it up is a good idea. Now if you have a dam across here, you can follow the contour line. Actually, it might fill in. Let's just put it one like right above it. And actually we'll put it right on the line, and of course it'll be finessed when they get there. And this is actually 6.2, and then the latitude is 7.59. So now we know it's in this stream bed, and that's the latitude, because there might be a 7.59 over here too, but we know that's in this stream bed here. So that dam is set. Have the right stream bed, right latitude. Then we'll just click OK. And so this is what we're doing now, just going up and looking for these narrow areas, and there's probably some in betweens here because this is just the contour. This is the standard elevation lines, whereas there's probably that same shape down here and down here. So it's just a matter of getting it close, and then we'll get it figured out when we do the surveys. So that's how we do the labels. We have the icon already made, and so the best thing to do is just to copy the ones that are there, cut and paste, Control Command I, drag it to where you want that, and then just change the information on that. But what we're really looking for are opportunities for catching water along these stream beds, using the contour lines as our guide as to where we might put dams and how far we can back the water up to clean it, let it silt out, and then also eventually maybe make some terraces. That would be great too. So when you open up your KML, look for these lists, look for the stream beds, look for the contour lines, and the first thing to do is basically start labeling your stream bed so you know where you are, and then start creating the labels for the Gabion Dam and the check dam, so you have kind of a standard label to use, and just start moving them around and going up your stream bed until you have those all filled in. Thanks. We'll have more discussion about this in probably another video. Talk to you soon.